2 years since the Amos family suspended operations for the Columbus Cottonmouths, hockey has quickly cemented itself back in the Columbus Civic Center with the new Columbus River Dragons. Columbus was a proud hockey town, holding the Cottonmouths for over 20 years in the Chattahoochee Valley, spanning 3 different leagues with 3 championships to boot. But after 21 years, financial troubles with the Amos family caused the Columbus Cottonmouths to cease operations in the 2017-2018 season to look for a buyer. But no one approached the Amos family with an offer, erasing the Columbus Cottonmouths from the Civic Center.
You know what? It was pretty devastating. Obviously, you didn't see some of the stuff because I just about cried every interview I did when the Cottonmouths went away. So I spent pretty much my whole adult life here for the most part. I've been here longer than anywhere else I've lived. So Columbus has a big spot in my heart, and you know, obviously hockey, you know, is a passion of mine, and I'm just it was really devastating to see it go.
The Columbus Cottonmouths ceasing operations caused many of the players and coaches to look for new jobs, including Columbus hockey legend and now real estate agent Jerome Boom Boom Bouchard.
Growing up, you know, hockey is all I knew. I never went. I have a high school education, which nowadays isn't good enough to do a lot of stuff. But at the same time, you know, I think I bring a lot more to the table than just going to school for 12 years. And you know, everybody in town knows who Boom Boom is and who Jerome Bouchard is. So I think you do all right with it, and combine that with my fighting prowess, and I'm going to fight for you to have your backyard kind of things.
However, hope came back once again early in 2019 when it was reported that a proposal had been brought forth to the Columbus City Council for a 5-year ownership deal with Ignite Pro Hockey, led by Jeff Krupp and assisted by Carolina Thunderbirds GM Scott Brand, who was enticed by the new team forming in Columbus after winning a championship with Carolina.
There was an opportunity down here that and to work for ownership that wanted to do a little bit more than we were willing up to do in Carolina. I think that that was pretty exciting for me. You know, we're doing a lot with television. We're doing a lot with radio now. With our building here, we can do a lot with a jumbotron, and so it just seemed like an opportunity to do a lot more and expand my experience in hockey.
When it came to building the team itself, Cottonmouths head coach and now head coach of the River Dragons, Jerome Bouchard, wasn't the first choice to be the head coach, and he didn't entirely want to be.
When we first got into it, I didn't wear this golf shirt for the longest time. It didn't feel quite right. Supposed to be the associate coach, and now I'm the head coach. The ownership group here kind of contacted me. You know, one, I didn't know who these folks were. I knew Scott a little bit. I wanted to make sure that it was the right fit. You know, after our first meeting, I'm like, yeah, I think this will be good.
Success didn't start immediately, however. The Dragons have stayed in the bottom of the FPHL rankings for the majority of the season. But there was a fire that was starting at the Dragons' den as Columbus went on a winning skid, winning 15 of their last 21 matches, including a win against former GM Scott Brand and player coach Jay Krupp's Carolina Thunderbirds on the road, a team that has only suffered 6 regulation losses through 41 games.
Meetings and group chats and meetings and more meetings, and finally, I think it just clicked to them. I'm like, guys, the only way we're going to win is if you guys buy into this team game that I'm talking about.
Attendance has also been a success for the River Dragons, averaging out at over 3,000 fans a night, standing as the second most attended team in the FPHL. And their support doesn't end there. In a series against the Battle Creek Rumblebees, the team hosted over 4,000 people in both of their 2 games on Valentine's Day weekend, a first for the league. The team then went on to break the FPHL single game attendance record with over 5,000 fans on a military appreciation night against the Danbury Hat Tricks.
Well, it's tremendous. I mean, I've been fortunate if it's happened twice. Lightning struck me twice, first in Carolina and now here. I think the response both places have gone beyond our expectations. You know, Carolina was without hockey for a long time, 10 years. This was a short period of no hockey, but wow, the fans responded. If you were to tell me we'd be close to 3,000 a game, I would have said, well, maybe next year. But you know, we're on pace right now to break 100,000 with all the extra games we've added in playoff.
But there's always the first season hype. What really matters is what is next for the Dragons. Can they keep the audience and stay in Columbus longer than the Cottonmouths before them?
There's no reason that it wouldn't last. With the creativity and the drive behind what the organization is doing, it should. You know, it's everyone's part. It's the people that work in the office. It's the coach. It's the players, the fans, the community. We need to get you when you're little and have them come to the games and oh man, this and that, and then all of a sudden when you graduate college and you got a job, oh, love the Dragons, and we want to do that. So that's really a process, and it's not a long, it's not a short, easy process. It's a long process, and that's kind of what has to be done. We have to engage everybody in the community. We have to be involved in the community. We have to be at the schools. We have to almost create our own fans.
If you can come out of a game and not even remember the score, but you remember the mascots, you remember the Jumbotron, you remember maybe a hit here, a goal there, even a fight, you know, we got to keep you entertained. So we're really in the entertainment business, and we disguise it with hockey.
River Dragons have locked themselves in the FPHL playoffs in their inaugural season. So Columbus, get ready to keep making some noise for the boys going into April as the River Dragons try to win the Commissioner's Cup in their first season on ice. And may there be many more seasons and playoff runs to come. This is Chris Haynes, WLTZ, for Sports.